YouTube. It's Tone. I'm back with another one. So this one here today is a continuation on common law abatement. I think it's number 7. I be getting these fucked up, so I mean I'll put whatever number it is when I actually go to fucking upload it and count how many is actually there. So, but there's a bunch of this shit here for this one here. So let's go ahead and let's get right into this shit. So right here is an affidavit that you will be sending to the judge, right? Because you want to send this shit directly to these people. You can't send it to the court as a whole, which I've done in the past. And, it doesn't really do anything. So you got to send it directly to one of these motherfuckers and name them in it, right? So here, to the name of the judge, the court circuit, full name. It's going to be your shit with your address and all that, certified mail number or registered mail. If you want to be real and get some real shit done, go ahead and send that shit registered mail. Right, so here it says, date, the honorable name judge, whatever. They're really not honorable. They usually move it with some dishonorable fucking grimy shit. But let's go ahead and call it what it is here on the paper. It says honorable. When I specially visit your court on a forced response on the date of to a bill of pains and penalties issued by the officer employed by the police agency, employed by the corporate, your state in the all caps, I move this court and you judge to take judicial notice that my special visitation was forced, that my visitation is special and not general, since this notice is my timely and specific objection to the presumptions upon which a false conclusion of law has been made administratively with regard to my status before this court. The plaintiff in this case is an administrative officer representing the corporate and de facto all cap state, which has legislative power to compel performance upon the letter of its statutes upon all the persons subject to its jurisdiction, which means that you're not subject to its jurisdiction unless you have a contract with them, because they are a corporation which are subject to contract law. That's why when you go get a lawyer, you're going to get a contract lawyer. Why is that? Because they deal with contracts, and all these fucking people are corporations essentially trying to get you to contract with them. So this is the only due process that a legislative court recognizes is the right to be heard on the facts of those cases. The corporate plaintiff in this criminal action before this court has made a unproven conclusion of law that your name, which is so that'll be like your name, is among the persons who have lost or otherwise abandoned their status in the guaranteed republican form of government, and who must perform under legislative power under the exact letter of every legislative statute with no due process of law protection other than outlined in the paragraphs 2 of this letter, which essentially would make you a fucking an employee of theirs, and so then you would be subject to their policies, codes, and statutes and things of that nature. So the law wouldn't really apply at that point if you were in fact contracted with these agents. So it is the false conclusion of law that administrative officer, whatever the fuck his name was, issued the contested bill of claims and penalties upon me, right? So this court must take judicial notice that me, an unfranchised individual, has made contrary conclusion of law to that of plaintiff, which is me, claims his guaranteed fundamental unalienable rights stemming from both the national and state constitutions to full due process of law in all criminal actions against him, means he is subject only to judicial power and not legislative power. Said judicial power, when exercised over him, requires a corpus delicti, which would be an injured party or a damaged party who has sworn out a vested complaint against him. So this is lacking in the criminal complaint against me brought on by this plaintiff. So there is no criminal action if there is no injury or a injured party, then no crime has taken place, right? So so the unlawfully charged me declares that this unenfranchised status is a preamble American citizen of the guaranteed republican form of government known as the United States of America, and inhabit in your state, that without a corpus delicti, no court, judicial, or legislative tribunal has the criminal jurisdiction over his personal property. Therefore, the accused specially visits before the law side of this court, seeking its protection from the excess zeal of corporate government, trusting that this court will assume a neutral stance at law and require that the corporate plaintiff in this criminal action prove in his whatever and prove that there was actually a crime that had taken place. So there would have to be a significant crime taking place and or injured party in order for them to move forward with any action against you, because there was really no crime that had taken place. And there exists no such thing as a crime in a fucking commercial civil venue. It doesn't fucking work like that. So here you have jurisdiction over the accused to be a fact of law before this court will take on the role judging facts on the legislative charge brought before you. Your solemn oath office compels nothing less from you. So you're putting them into a position now to where they have to fucking prove their what do you call it? Prove their claim or fucking drop that shit. And so you're putting him directly in the fucking line of fire by making him do his fucking job, right? So move on to the next affidavit here. This is going to be to the clerk of the court, right? So attention, clerk of court. The case number is going to go here, certified mail date and all that. And your certified mail numbers are going to serve as your document ID as well. So it's always good to send them separately to the people, unless if you're going to send them all at once to, say, the clerk of the court, but they're addressed individually to different people, you're going to want to have them identified as different exhibits and things like that. So you'd send them all out, one certified mail number for them all, and then exhibit A, exhibit B, exhibit C, because count on the fact that they're going to try to play games, and you're going to have to bring this to Superior and then probably Supreme Court to get your remedy. Supreme Court doesn't really fuck around, bro. They will hold these niggas accountable because they have to. They all deal with contracts and shit like that too. So that's why it's good too to get your estoppels in place, right? Because these are going to serve as contracts, which are going to place these people into the federal Supreme Court jurisdiction because they only deal with contracts and they fucking enforce contracts. So when you get your contract in place already, then you can bring it right to the fucking Supreme Court because you already have a contract with them. So you don't even got to deal with these fucking assholes. Just go right to the Supreme Court as soon as they start acting the fuck up and have them all summoned into Supreme Court and see how powerful they are over there. They're not. They're fucking regular goddamn people in the fucking the regular people in the fucking Supreme Court. Bunch of cowards, and then you can pull their card that way. Awesome way to get it done. So please issue a subpoena duces tectum for the name of the officer as a witness and to produce the following legal papers, documents, records under his control for the trial date, as these documents are absolutely essential for the accused defense. Number one, any legal papers, documents, or records under his control other than the documents obtained by fraud without full disclosure that create the presumption that my name, upper lowercase, is a resident, which is a commercial term, and they're gonna have to prove that you're actually a resident of their fucking state, which means that, you know, they're gonna be looking for driver's licenses, any fucking commercial transactions and things like that, which they always try to force you into. Like, so I went to Walmart recently too to try to pick up money from one of my clients through a Walmart to Walmart transfer, and these motherfuckers are talking about, oh, they need a fucking light bill, a gas bill, and all this shit to get a fucking a fucking money transfer. I'm like, absolutely fucking not. I'm like, why the fuck would I give you my fucking address, bro? Are you fucking out of your mind? I went there with a passport. I always carry a passport. I shit don't have an ID on it because none of your fucking business where the fuck I live. You gonna give me your fucking address too, bro? The fuck out of here with that dumb shit. Stupid ass games that these fucking people always playing. So anyway, so number three, any legal papers, documents, or records under his control, other than the documents obtained by fraud without full disclosure that establish that this case as an adversary proceeding pursuant to bankruptcy rules, or is a rem proceeding. So any legal papers, documents, or records under his control signed by me other than documents obtained by fraud with full disclosure that establish that my name, upper lowercase, is an artificial, fictitious juristic personality or entity referred to by the state as the all caps, which is a legal fiction. Any legal papers or documents reckoned under his control other than documents obtained by fraud without full disclosure that establish that my name is a vessel. Any papers, documents, records under his control other than documents obtained by fraud without full disclosure establish that my name is co-bankrupt debtor of the fucking U.S. government. We are not the fucking debtors of this goddamn place. They are the fucking debtors here. Okay? All these corporations are the fucking debtors, and you're not a corporation. All right? So they're going to have to prove that shit. So here we move on to the next slide of this. Number 13. Are the aforementioned individuals under contract to the municipal corporation known as whatever your county is, which is in all caps, and they're all fucking corporations. Number 14, are the aforementioned individuals under contract within a trust chartered as a service corporation on behalf of a fictitious entity called the state of whatever the fucking name is. Number 15, is the name of this fictitious entity called the name of the state, which would be in all caps. Check yes or no. You're giving them an opportunity to come clean here. What other name does this entity function under? List all names of fictitious entity and trust, and they're all under a trust. Okay, know that. So when they sign their contracts with the state and then with the people and shit like that, you got the pyramid there. You got the 3 different entities and shit like that, and they are beholden to the people, right? So what other names does this entity function under? List all names of the fictitious entity and trust. Where is this fictitious entity chartered out of, right? And make sure that they even have a fucking legit charter. A lot of these people are operating under fraud, and they're not even doing the shit legally. They're just trying to hack into your fucking estate. A lot of these people. So what is the geographical location of this chartered fictitious entity? Number 20, is said fictitious entity under alter ego or some other entity, right? So is this fictitious entity under a fictitious plaintiff? Can a fiduciary bring a legal action on behalf of an alter ego? Can an attorney at law litigate as an agent on behalf of a fictitious plaintiff or an alter ego? And they do that often. So litigate is to bring forward any action where you're gonna have a back and forth fucking tennis match and shit like that. The funny part about all that is that all these people are here representing things that don't even fucking exist. So what? You're speaking here. You're the fucking authorized representative for the state of. What the fuck is the state of? And where the fuck is the state of? And can the state of please stand and state his name for the record, please? It doesn't fucking exist. They're playing fucking stupid ass games and people are just buying the fuck into that dumb shit. So they're representing something that doesn't fucking exist. Know that. So when you ask them, can an attorney at law litigate as an agent on behalf of a fictitious plaintiff or an alter ego? Apparently they can, because they do it all the time. So number 24, are the aforementioned individuals registered as a foreign agent on behalf of their alter ego principal with the Attorney General of the United States? Chances are that they are. When you become a bar member, you're a private membership association member of that fucking particular organization. Now, the bar stands for British Accreditation Registry. This is how they're bringing British law onto the fucking American land, through a private membership association, which you don't know, and you think that it's actual law. It isn't. 26. Is a contempt of court to litigate as an attorney at law for the fictitious plaintiff? Of course it is. If the aforementioned individual are licensed under contract, what agency is the contract program administered under? Number 28, is the agency of trust for the state name, and then you put the name of the state. Who is the beneficiary or above mentioned reference trust, right? And you are the beneficiary. So if so, what is the name of this trust? Who are the trustee and co-trustee? What is the prosecuting attorney's office, right? And these are all going to be separate corporations. That's who you're going to be dealing with here. That's exactly who you're going to be dealing with here. So then, what is it here? All right, so let's get into this. So 33, what agent of the state of name issued the contract which is serviced by the aforementioned office? 34, is there a contractual relationship between the name of the county and the prosecuting attorney's office? More than likely there is a fucking relationship there. So 35, what are the contractual relationships between the municipal corporations known as the state of, the name, the county, and the corporation known as the United States? 36, were the above mentioned contractual relationships formed as a result of any type of bankruptcy action? If so, where was this action litigated and by whom? If additional time is required to produce requested documents, records, legal papers, and interrogatories, please consider this as a request for postponement of the trial to a later date. This is to assure that all the requested material and questions are fully complied with, and the sufficient lead time that will allow my assistance of counsel and me to inspect the material in preparation for my defense. Respectfully presented, your name, serve in jury's capacity, which is your natural lawful capacity. Right, so, and that's what we got here. So look, always fucking remember that these people are corporations. You got to call them out. Only way to do it is through affidavits. served directly to them and shit like that. You know, I mean, that's the best way to do it. And it is a game of chess. Stop playing checkers with these fucking assholes. That's what I got for you for now. Until we meet again.